Hi, I'm Phyllis and you're watching followPhyllis.com. Today we're going to talk about rotisserie chicken. I know you ladies see them all the time in the store. I'm going to show you how to take this chicken and make a whole bunch of delicious, easy to make meals from one chicken. The first thing I do when I get a chicken home from the supermarket, and generally I'll buy two, is I break it down. It's much easier to take the chicken apart when it's still hot because the meat will fall right off the bone. And what I do is I generally will take a couple of pieces that I want to have for a hearty meal. Now of course the skin is on, but when I eat it I always remove the skin. And then I'll take some of the chicken, I'll slice it up and use that for salads. I might chop some if I'm going to use some soup, and then I'll shred some of the chicken because I like to eat lettuce wraps and tacos, which you'll see later in the video. Now I promised you ladies I'm going to show you some great things to do with that, to make with that rotisserie chicken, and the first thing I'm going to show you is a composed salad. So I put together a bunch of greens. I like the spring mix, the mesclun greens, and then I add, of course, kale, because if you don't have kale, it's not a salad anymore. So I put that on a plate, and then I take my chicken. Now for this I use the sliced chicken, and I'll just put that on the greens. And I would say that I use, probably most of a chicken breast for this. And then on top of that, I like to put some sliced strawberries, which, I love these portion control little containers. You can smell these strawberries, they smell so good. I can't wait to eat this salad. And this is great for lunch and for dinner. And then I put a few craisins on it. Now, the craisins now come reduced sugar, so they still do have a lot of sugar, so you want to not use too many of them, but look for the ones with less sugar. And then walnuts, which I love. Sprinkle those on. And then a little bit of blue cheese. For those of you who don't eat dairy, just eliminate it. Or if you don't like blue cheese, pick a cheese that you like. And then I like to use a poppy seed dressing, which I use very little of. And make sure you read your labels, ladies, because there's a big difference in the calorie counts of these dressings. Some are much more healthful than others, so you really want to be careful. And that's it. That's your composed chicken salad. I guarantee you it's as good as anything you'll get in the finest cafe. Now, another way you can use the rotisserie chicken is by making chicken soup. Now, I like to make my own fresh chicken soup when I have the time, but when I don't, I go to this. One of the tricks that I like to do is I take my bowl and I fill it about 1/3 of the way with cold lettuce. When you put the hot soup on top of it, the lettuce is going to wilt, and what that does is you're going to have extra fiber. You're also going to fill yourself up. I have the lettuce in the bowl. Well, I'm using a big cup. And I've already heated up my chicken. I use the chicken cube. So that's already been microwaved. We'll just dump that on top of the lettuce. These are actually in the soup. And then I'm going to use some brown rice, which I also have portion control. So this is a 1/2 cup, already preheated. I'm just going to plop that on top. And then I have chicken broth that I just simmered with fresh sliced mushrooms, sliced carrots, all these just pre-purchased. I diced up some scallions that really gives it a good taste, and I have some parsley on top. I'm going to go get the hot soup now because I put in, we have the cold lettuce, we have the chicken and the brown rice that I microwaved so they're nice and warm. And now I have on the stove simmering the chicken stock, low sodium or sodium free if you can find that, with sliced mushrooms, the carrots, and the scallions. And I'm just going to get that from the stove, pour that on top. I'll just scoop out the vegetables. And then I pour that broth on top. I put just a little dash of low sodium soy, and I take some fresh parsley and I like to just Put that on top, it gives it a nice fresh taste. Parsley is great for that. So you want to make sure to use that. And that's it. Who would know that this was made from a rotisserie chicken and all those store-bought ingredients? So easy, delicious, and extremely nutritious, filling. Serve it to your guests. Who doesn't love Mexican? We're going to make a chicken tortilla now with some of the shredded chicken from the rotisserie chicken. I'm telling you, the possibilities are endless. Just use your imagination. So I've warmed up my tortilla. My chicken has been warmed up, and I'm going to spread a little bit of guac on top of the corn tortilla. It's gluten-free. This has 60 calories. So I'm going to put black beans, which I've rinsed. And these are low sodium. You always want to look for something that's low sodium, low sugar. You always want to look at your labels, ladies. That's really important. And then, you can take those little strays. I'm going to put on the shredded chicken, which I've also warmed. Now, who would think that came from a rotisserie chicken? You could serve that to guests. Tell them you went to cooking school and you learned how to make Mexican. Everybody loves Mexican food. Then we're going to put on some shredded cheese, and this is a 4-cheese Mexican blend, reduced fat. I never get fat-free because they taste like cardboard. Then I'm putting on some salsa. You can use as much of this as you want because this has basically 0 calories, and I like it spicy. Pile that on. Some shredded lettuce. You need a little green. And then all you need is just a little dollop of reduced fat sour cream to make it authentic. And that is a chicken tortilla made from a rotisserie chicken that you bought in the supermarket. Would you believe that? Make that for your guests. They'd be really surprised. Now, ladies, I'm going to attempt to put this into my big mouth. It's delicious. Now I'm going to show you how to make chicken lettuce wraps. This is really one of my favorites. So you can pick whatever lettuce leaf you want. I have an iceberg and I have a romaine. And it's so simple. Take a little peanut sauce, just drizzle a little at the bottom. And one of the tricks here, ladies, is when you buy the sauce, thin it out with some water. You'll never notice the difference in the taste, but it makes a difference calorically. And then I like to use some shredded cabbage. I just buy the coleslaw mix. So it's got cabbage and carrots in it. Sometimes you find it with the red cabbage. It's good too. So, you know, you're just eating lots of vegetables and protein in this one, and really, really good. So we put the cabbage on. Now here's the shredded chicken again from a rotisserie chicken. Who would have thought? Maybe when you go into your favorite restaurant and buying this, maybe they made their chicken from a rotisserie chicken too. Who knows? Why bother cooking it if you could buy it already made? And then I'm going to put some peanuts. I crush them a little bit first. Just a few, just for like a little crunch and taste. And then I have some diced peppers. Also, just, you know, it freshens the taste a little bit. Also gives you nutrients. Peppers, I don't know if you know this, are loaded with vitamin C. And then on the top, I'm going to drizzle again with a little of the peanut sauce. So you're really not using that much, and as I said, you're just going to water it down a little bit. Every time you reduce your calories, you'd be surprised, 10 calories here, 30 calories here, 20 calories there, it all adds up. And then all you do is roll it and eat it. And on the romaine leaf, you just have to pick it up and chow down. Enjoy. I love these. I think this is my favorite.
Phyllis Chicken, take one.